Hey everyone, it's your girl rareafrican. I'm back again with another video. So I'm showing you guys how I dyed my wig from the last video into this burgundy color. So you're going to need some garbage bags, some reusable gloves, combs, a dyeing bowl, 40 volume developer, and high color lights in the shade magenta, and this is from the L'Oreal Technique collection. This is the hair that I'm using, so it's the Moon Magic hair from Aliexpress. It came with lashes, an elastic band, and a wig cap. So I'm gonna just be parting the hair into 3 sections basically. So basically I'm parting the frontal section as one section and then the back into 2 sections, so it's easier for me to dye the hair in sections instead of doing it all at once, and it will be all like messed up and everything. So make sure you just like split it in sections so it's easier for you to dye your hair and it won't be overwhelming as well. I didn't have a dyeing brush, so that's why I didn't mention it in the beginning, but I just used my hands to put the dye on the hair and then finger combed it, because honestly the combs, do you really need the combs? I mean, maybe you could just use a wide tooth comb to help the dye get through the hair, but I kind of mainly just ended up finger combing it. So yeah, so I part the hair in 3 sections. So now I'm going to mix the dye in the developer. So this is how I achieve that color without bleaching my hair. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wear some gloves, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and open my magenta hair dye. So I'm just cutting the top off of the tubes, as you can see. I don't even think I have to really explain every single little thing, but as you can see, I'm just putting that in the bowl. So like I said in my last video, if you did not watch that, this technique, I did not come up with this technique. A YouTuber that I am currently subscribed to, her name is Ayani. I'm going to put her YouTube channel information on the screen so you guys can subscribe to her, but that's who I got this idea from. I'm just gonna go ahead and add some developer and mix the dye. She said in her video that you want the mixture to not be clumpy because the dye is pretty thick, so that's why we have the volume developers also help lift the hair color. I just kept adding the developer until I felt like it helped, because I felt like it was helping with the clumpiness, obviously, and I just kept mixing and mixing and mixing. But I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, but adding more bond developer probably helps with lifting the hair better. So yeah, I'm not a pro, but if you guys want more extra details and everything, just go ahead and watch her video. But this video is just for those who wanted to see how I did it, and it's basically the same thing as how she did it. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and take some Vaseline and I'm going to apply that on my frontal, especially in the hairline area. I didn't do this as perfect and I didn't really take my time with this, so in the future I will definitely do that. But this basically helps. The Vaseline basically helps with making sure that the dye doesn't ruin your lace, and that's what she said in her video as well, because she was mentioning how people say that you're supposed to spray Got to Be spray on the lace, but Got to Be spray is water based, like, or something like that. Like if water hits Got to Be spray, it's definitely going to lift and remove. That's why I use water to remove your Got to Be spray off your hairline when you used Got to Be spray as like a glue to lay down your frontal. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that dye. I'm just basically putting it on there Like, honestly, there's nothing special. I'm just putting it on there, just painting it on. And then I just use my fingers to make sure it gets through each strand and everything. So I wish I did this a little bit, like, I wish I added more sections just so it was really in there. The thing is, since I started from the back, I felt like my back of the wig was a little bit brighter than the front. The front, I didn't leave it in that for that long, since the back I started with it. But she said to leave the, what's it called, the hair dye on your wig for at least 45 minutes. That's what she did. So that's what I ended up doing as well. But yeah, I felt like maybe for the front, I probably should have left it on a little bit longer, just because you can see that later on it's like 1 shade off or something, maybe 2 shades. But it's not that serious. Like, when you look in person, the wig, it's not that bad. You don't even notice it at all. And it still looks good, honestly. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just continue applying the hair dye throughout the hair. So as you can see, when I was adding the dye into the hair and then finger combing it and using a wide tooth comb, I had a little shedding, but it's honestly, every hair sheds. Even the hair on your head will shed. So I'm not really stressing about it. As long as it's not shedding OC, then I'm fine. This whole process was honestly exhausting. Literally, once I got to the frontal part, I was just like, oh my gosh, let me hurry up, because I was so tired. Like, she's so right. This is a lot. It takes time. You have to be patient, and it's just like, especially when you want to make sure there's no like splotches and streaks in the hair. You want it to make sure it looks good, so you have to really take your time. But I was so tired. All right, so this is basically what it looks like afterwards. I've put all the dye onto the hair. Yeah, so I thought it was going to be this bright, but it did not come out like this bright, which is okay. I'm fine with the results that I got in the end, and you guys will see that later on in this video. So now I'm going to go ahead and rinse out this dye, and I'm just going to rinse it out in cool. I'm just making sure I just get every bit of that dye out. So this is the part when I realized, oh my gosh, like, why is it not as bright? It looked like it was just black. Like, it looked like the dye didn't even do anything. So I was afraid that the dye didn't do anything and all that, but I just still could carry it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my neutralizing shampoo to help take out all that runny dye out. And I thought the neutralizing shampoo was gonna help with the dye on the lace, because I realized there was a lot of dye on the lace. But that didn't really do anything, to be honest. So later on I just ended up using makeup to conceal that part. But yeah, so that obviously, I mean, trial and error. So now I know in the future, like when you dye your frontal or closure, just make sure you don't let that dye leak through like I did. So I'm just rinsing it out over and over again, at least till the water becomes clear. So now I'm taking this Organics coconut oil conditioner. This has to be the best conditioner I've ever tried. And definitely I want to try that on my own wig. On my own head, because it smells so good and it made this wig so soft. I definitely recommend this for like curly hair, honestly, and probably even straight and wavy hair, honestly. But I use a wide tooth comb to just comb it out, and that's the shedding that I got from it. So this is basically what it looked like after I've washed it and everything. As you can see, it's like kind of dry and then still wet and all that, but I was still pretty much, I was fine. Like, notice how like some parts of the hair is like, I don't know, darker than the other. I don't know. But I was fine with this, the results that I got, just because this is like one of the few times I've actually dyed my hair. So now I'm gonna go through with the Cantu curling cream. It's for kids, but I wanted to try it on the wig. I saw this technique from Beauty by Bemi, the Nigerian UK YouTuber. I love her. But yeah, I just added on there just because when she does her curly wigs, she uses this product, and it really made the hair smell even good, and it made it soft and like supple. So I just added a little bit in there, and then this is when I go ahead and use my mousse. I thought I was doing something with it. I don't know what I was doing at this part. At this part, honestly, I remembered I was watching some frontal videos, and like basically you guys gonna start seeing me how like when I do the baby hairs, and then later on, especially in the last video that I just recorded, I didn't even use the baby hairs at all because I was honestly dissatisfied with the way I did them. So yeah, I want to show you, like, I don't mind showing you guys my faults and errors and stuff like that, just because I'm also too human, and I'm not good at this wig game stuff. I'm still brand new to it. I don't do frontals like that. I mainly do closures. And yeah, or mainly wear braids and faux locks and stuff like that. But I was just like, let me try doing the baby hairs. But that one, yeah, it didn't even come out looking correct. I really, especially the part where I was trying to swoop it geeks me, but yeah, don't come for my neck on this one, okay? But other than that, I honestly think that I did a great job with this being like my second frontal wig that I've made so far. Practice makes perfect. We all do not start off making wigs looking like them professional celebrities hairstylists, okay? We all have to practice, and yeah. So this is me thinking that I'm doing something. And I felt like definitely the Vaseline helped on the frontal. There was like half of my head, there was really no dye on that part of like the hairline, and you can see on this side of my head there was some dye on the hairline, just because I didn't take my time with it. So next time I'm definitely gonna take my time. But this is me trying to swoop the hairs, trying to do something. Yeah, I really thought it was. And I was just so lazy, I didn't even feel like plucking the hair. But this is basically what it looks like dry. This is basically what it looks like dried. But yeah,